Now we're on to the second arc, episode 3.
Arc.
Or the short story.
Or as I like to call it, when we immediately veer away from the plot. And then we take forever to circumvent our way back towards it.
That won't be for a while, so...
Like I said, take forever.
Let's go over episode 3. Episode 3. Sachi and the Black Cats.
Sachi and the Kuronekos
Yep.
are a guild.
Yeah.
And Kirito decides, I shall stop being a solo player because you people were nice to me for a minute. And I will join your guild and help you.
Yeah. No, it's more like... I think it was more like... he found the Black Cats because the Moonlit Cats, I think they were called, rather.
Moonlit Cats, Black Cat. I think it called them both.
Something of the sort.
I think it called them both.
Something of the sort.
I'm pretty sure it called them both.
We're watching the sub, okay? So then, I don't know, the translator must have been like, it could be this, it could be that.
I'll just use both.
We'll have to check out the dub sometime. That means rewatching it.
Dude, I'm already in the middle of watching it on Toonami for some bizarre reason. I don't know why I'm watching it on Toonami, in all honesty. I basically skip half the Toonami block because I've already seen the entire shows on it.
Yeah. So it was more like Kirito was the Black Cats were in trouble, and Kirito comes in to save them, and then they don't show you this, but then at the opening scene before the opening song, they show the guild leader being all like, yeah, hooray, we survived the dungeon and Kirito saved us. Cheers, kanpai, and then Kirito's like, okay, yeah, that's great. And then they're like, oh, you're so awesome, do you want to join our guild? And he's like,
sure.
And then, what happens after that?
And then he's with them for a while. Actually.
Yeah, for a while. So they basically do training together, even though
Go to dungeons together.
Have a happy time. But there's one thing that Kirito doesn't tell them.
Yeah, the dude is like in the 40s levels. Well, I think the highest level we see any of them is like 23 or something.
Yeah.
He's basically double their level.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that really started to bug me about Kirito. Number one, he becomes like just too overpowered. Basically, he becomes ridiculously overpowered, but for no real good reason. It's well established he's a solo player, but anyone who knows MMOs, and even I who don't know MMOs very well, but even I know the whole point of those is working in parties.
Yeah.
If you try to go like in one of those solo, especially like in the serious one solo, that's basically a guaranteed death.
Yeah. Unless you're a beater.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. That's a stupid as all hell nickname that they invented for Kirito just to try and make him badass. Oh, and another thing.
I think we all know that.
And another thing that bugs me is the fact that the only thing I have to go on as to why I should think he's awesome is because he wears a black cloak. Other than that, there's nothing really else there. As we'll soon find out, Kirito has the personality of a block of wood.
Yep. Actually, more like a dirt. Just dirt, like clay. Because later on, you'll find out in some of the episodes that he becomes whatever, like you said, he becomes whatever the plot needs him to be. So the people mold him into different shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he takes on different roles.
And as such, he doesn't ever really develop an identity of his own.
Yeah, it's more like you'll find that he's just going through the motions in each and every short story, and probably through the rest of the whole plot of Sword Art Online, and maybe into Alfheim Online when we reach the second season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but we still haven't gone over the situation with the Black Cats.
Ah, yes. They decide, we got enough money now, let's buy our own house. And they're all like, "Yay, mortgages!" and so the leader of the Black Cats, Tetsuo, goes off to purchase their house, which for some reason can only be purchased in the first level.
I don't know. In GTA, you can basically buy it whenever the crap you want.
That's how video games work, my friend. But anyway, the rest of them decide, hey, let's do the stupidest thing possible and grind for more money and items and stuff at high level dungeons when we're missing one of our players.
Yeah.
And so they do. And so they go to a dungeon.
Oh, wait a second. We didn't even mention the fact that Sachi, the mascot of the Black Cats, actually,
AKA the only female member.
Yeah, pretty much every female that's inside a guild happens to be a mascot that represents the guild as a whole. I don't know why. It's just weird. Yeah, so Sachi starts to grow feelings for Kirito, and she's like, I'm done with this game. It's pointless. Screw this. I don't want to be here anymore. Hey, Kirito, let's run away. Double suicide, Romeo and Juliet style. Heck yeah. And
Kirito's like, bitch, you crazy.
Yep. and then he's like, we'll make this better. Let's just go back to our place and we'll settle this. Instead, they just get in the bed. Wait. And they do nothing. Make the fanboys cry a little.
They are in close she needed human proximity.
Yeah, pretty much.
As this close-up shot of her panties clearly reveals.
Close-up.
We
find that in episode 4, okay.
That doesn't happen in this episode, but I've seen it happen before.
Yeah. Anyway, so they go into this dungeon because they're so high and mighty about, oh, we're so great. We're like the most underground badass guild out there. And
they fall into the world's most obvious trap.
Oh, great. We can't use our teleport crystals.
And oh no, there are monsters all around us. And
it's a tarp! No!
And so we get into a long scene in which everyone dies, in which every single one of the members of the guild dies. And again, I'll just say personally, even though again, as the same problem I had with the first couple episodes where it's like, when the guy dies in the big dramatic death scene, it's like, I wish I'd known him earlier, so I might care more. Again, it's the same thing here. But here, like, they just go so over the top, especially with Sachi's death, and especially with the events later on, that I do think it almost gets sort of a pity feel, like, okay, you're trying to make me care.
Yeah.
I think they're at least
No, I kind of did care, because it is. I don't know. I always fall for the boy and girl kind of thing, which is why I absolutely love rom-coms, because it's my kind of thing. But this didn't end up becoming a rom-com. It became more of like a emo relationship, where we're like, oh, Kirito, I love you, but I never got the chance to say it. I'll just say it in this message. Without actually saying I love you.
Oh, P.S. Here's a little song to make you cry.
yeah, man. So Kirito's like, oh, this is the reason why Kirito is all mad. He decides to
after they all die, there's a time skip,
and they realize that there's an item that you can get, where you can revive a person. Cool! Well, let's revive Sachi. Oh, we met Klein. That's great. I think, or was it they met Klein to find out that there was this item or something like that?
They met, there was an item there was an information broker who told them about the item.
Oh, okay.
And Klein just showed up because, like, he'd met Kirito, like, a bit earlier in the episode, and he's like, dude, you're crazy going at this alone. Let me and my friends help you. And Kirito's like, no, I'm a solo player.
With his emo face.
I must get rid of any sign of emotion.
Yeah.
And then the Holy Dragon Alliance shows up. And I swear the two top guilds, the Holy Dragon Alliance and the Knights of the Blood Oath, took the two coolest names possible. Or at least two of the coolest names possible. I would have named it something like the Assassin Brotherhood.
The Assassin Brotherhood. Yeah.
But since of course this isn't my own video game and there are copyright laws in place here, they
Damn you, Kayaba!
They obviously can't.
Yeah.
So Kirito goes and fights crazy zombie Santa, and he gets the item. But it's like, this item can revive anyone who died within 10 seconds of their death.
And then he's like, fuck this shit. I'm giving this to Klein. And then, and he's like, save the next person that you think is going to die with this item.
Da 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 da.
And then he's like, emo, walk off.
And
episode
then
ends.
then he gets the ultra sad message from Sachi.
Oh yes, it's
where she's like, Kirito, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be dead by the time you get this message. So let me just say, don't blame yourself for my death. And I'm super happy right now for some reason. And I'm glad I met you, and I will not say I love you, but you can almost sort of pick up that subtext from this message. Oh, and by the way, let me sing a song for you to make sure that you feel as sad as possible. And then episode ends. So, anyway, again, like I said, I liked the first two episodes, and again, I'll say I liked this one. Mainly because the fact that, well, the first two episodes did, for me at least, they did a job of setting everything up and getting me at least interested in this. This one I at least like because it really brings home the idea that death in this world is a big deal.
Yep.
It makes sure you know it.
Agreed.
I would say it goes out of its way to make, like, Sachi's death the most soul-crushingly depressing thing in the entire episode. And it pulls out all the stops for this, by the way.
And
I
think this is where this is the turning point where Kirito, he finally, I feel like he has a reason for completing the game, so that this tragedy won't happen to other people like him, you know. So I think this is where it starts to accelerate a bit more, you know. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I think we're done with episode 3.
Yep, we've talked about this episode enough. Let's go.
Yeah!